Anna sat at the festive table, laden with food. She propped her head up with her hand, her gaze fixed on the dish in front of her. The guests were loudly discussing something that seemed uninteresting to the young woman, perhaps politics. Anna had heard the names of presidents mentioned several times, although she distinctly remembered that, according to etiquette, discussing health, politics, and religion was considered inappropriate. However, the guests paid no attention to that. The living room was mostly filled with women, gathering to celebrate her mother Olesia's birthday. "Your pickled mushrooms are the eighth wonder of the world," Olesia praised her pickling skills. Mrs. Irina, while stuffing her mouth with dishes, said she's an excellent cook. "Olesia, the recipe was passed down to me from my mother," the birthday girl boasted. "I've already passed it on to Anna, but she doesn't use it. I'll have to rely on my granddaughter, I hope." "And do you have any joyful news yet?" Mrs. Irina asked, looking at Anna. "No," Olesia inquired discontentedly. "I don't know if I'll ever have a child," she added. Anna jerked in surprise, realizing she had become the center of attention. However, she didn't get a chance to respond, and her father, as usual, came to her rescue. "He's envious," you could hear it at the table. "What? How was that?" Irina exclaimed, losing interest in Anna. No, the man wasn't a gossip. He just knew what news is relevant now. For the women at the table, it was a treat, and they eagerly began to discuss it. Diana, the daughter, looked at her father with gratitude, and he winked at her. Anna glanced at the clock, wondering when her military husband would arrive. He had been summoned to the ship. However, he promised to come for the celebration to support his wife. Of course, the desire to become a grandmother is great. However, Anna's mother didn't demand grandchildren on every occasion. At first, Anna and Dmitri laughed it off, but her mother's persistence began to weigh on the young woman's psyche. One day, the situation reached absurdity. Olesia came to visit her family from a neighboring country, and her mother looked at her daughter's flat stomach and shook her head. "Not pregnant," the woman clarified. Getting a negative answer, she snorted. Later, Olesia sat her daughter down on the couch and announced, "Daughter, we need to talk seriously and openly." The mother's voice sounded mournful, her face was pale, and her eyes were full of sorrow. While Anna anxiously awaited her mother's continuation, horrible thoughts flashed through her mind. "She's sick," Anna gasped mentally. "Or is Dad sick?" "No, both of them are sick. Or maybe they're getting a divorce, or I'm adopted, and my biological mother showed up and wants me to perform in a show. What if my brother?" Anna's thoughts increasingly resembled the plots of Brazilian soap operas, and her mother. Biting her lip, she said with excitement, "Tell me, Anna, what's wrong with you?" "What?" the girl exclaimed in surprise. "Don't shout at me," demanded the mother. "You can't have children, right? Or is the problem with Mitri?" "Where did you get that idea?" Anna replied. "Well, how else? You met at university, got married. It's been 3 years in a legal marriage and no children. What else could be the problem?" Anna, usually patient with her mother's antics, couldn't take it this time. "Is it about condoms? We use protection, Mom, so no, they will come when we want them to." "How many times do I have to tell you?" "Dmitri is in the military. He's been transferred 3 times to different cities. It wasn't convenient for us to have a child. I keep changing jobs. Now Dmitri is getting housing in the city and will take out a loan. Yes, we could wait forever for you to decide." Offended, her mother shrugged. "All my friends already have their second grandchild. They always post photos, posting. And here I am just smiling. I want to be a young and beautiful grandmother, not an old woman from a fairy tale. What else do you want, Mom? And if we want to live for ourselves?" Anna said, "For myself, I gave birth to you at 18. Am I to blame for that?" Anna responded indignantly. She seriously quarreled with her mother, and her father, Olesia's husband, came to her aid when she cried out. Seeing her father, she demanded support. "Tell her," Igor, the mother sobbed. "Tell her she should give us a grandchild." However, as it turned out, the man did not share his wife's attitude. Igor had a calm character and loved his daughter very much. "She owes nothing to anyone. Let her live the life she likes," he declared. "If God grants, children will come. If not, it's fine, Olesia." "Just a minute," Subscribe to the channel to not miss new videos. Then Olivia took offense, thinking that the whole family had conspired against her. In the end, she refused to speak for a week, feeling upset, and they enjoyed a break from Olivia's grumbling and had a wonderful vacation. However, Olivia didn't hold a grudge for long. Soon, she returned to her old ways. Now, taking a sip of champagne, Anna thought that if she received money for every mention of grandchildren by her mother, she could feed many people or pay off the loan she and Dmitri took out a year ago. Finally, the doorbell rang, and Dmitri entered the room with a huge bouquet of flowers. His mother-in-law beamed with a smile. "You're lucky with your husband. You two are a wonderful couple," she said. Olivia nodded. "Well, you still don't have children. Imagine what kind of kids you'll have. It would be interesting to see that miracle." After half an hour and a couple more toasts, the birthday girl, tapping her glass with a fork, drew the attention of her friends and relatives. "I want to propose a toast," she announced. "You know, I have everything for complete happiness. I just lack a little one who will call me grandma. And this gift can only be given by you, dear Anna and Dmitri. Maybe next year, there will be more of us around this table with one little but important person. Let's drink to that." Anna smiled and allowed her mother's glass to clink against hers, just because she didn't want to spoil the celebration. Anna envied her husband. He had no problems with his mom. Anna pondered about her mother-in-law. Maria couldn't find common ground with her family. Their personalities and interests were too different, so they didn't invite her to gatherings. Olivia scoffed, saying that Maria would be bored with them. Maria lost her husband many years ago. She not only raised Dmitri, but also built a career. The woman was also involved in equestrian sports, often visited the theater, exhibitions, and even painted. Even Maria's birthdays were different. They were celebrated in a restaurant, where close ones, politicians, and gossipers were invited. They didn't discuss grandchildren there. Maria, too, a delicate woman, never mentioned children, knowing that Anna disliked the topic. Sometimes the mother-in-law reminded Anna of a black aristocrat or a character from an old novel. Pale, contemplative, always holding her back straight and rarely speaking. She was reserved and not very cheerful. Anna even felt shy around her, although Dmitri assured her that his mom was kind and bright. Barely enduring it, Anna and Dmitri left the stuffy apartment. The night was summer but cool. Dmitri hugged his wife, warming her, waiting for a taxi. They looked at the sky. Anna was surprised, pointing her finger at the sky. "Did you see? A shooting star. I didn't make a wish." The woman frowned, as if she were 10 years old again. "And did you?" "No. What do I need to wish for?" "I already have you," Dmitri declared romantically, kissing his wife and making her giggle. Then Dmitri said, "Listen, Anna, I understand that your eyes will start twitching after all these toasts, but maybe it's really time. I would like to become a dad." Anna looked at her husband. Of course she wanted to. His eyes, enchantingly blue, were filled with love for his wife, just like on the day they met. The woman shrugged and blushed. "Well, maybe," Anna whispered, lowering her eyelashes. Yes, Anna had thought about children herself. Now they already had an apartment, stable jobs. If only her mom hadn't poisoned her soul, maybe they would have decided earlier. Anna looked at the sky again and saw a falling star once more. However, this time her wish managed to flicker, and soon it came true. Anna and Dmitri only revealed to their parents 3 months after a positive test that they were expecting a child. Olivia was ecstatic. Igor shook his son-in-law's hand and then embraced his daughter. Anna realized that her father was excited because his heart was pounding so strongly in his chest. Months flew by quickly, but not easily. Doctors delivered unpleasant news to the expectant mother. There were risks. The child could be born prematurely with insufficient weight, or there could be other complications. After thorough examinations, we found that you have high blood pressure, but this factor is generally controllable. In your case, the ailment leads to kidney dysfunction. You need to follow a diet, and additional monitoring is necessary, the doctor stated. After discharge, share the care of the child with your husband and relatives. Otherwise, it will be worse. That's when the most challenging period in Anna's life began. Dmitri couldn't help his wife. He only called from the ship, and even that was infrequent. Anna tried not to complain to her husband about her distressing situation. She kept a cheerful demeanor, and during phone calls, she would tell Dmitri about how beautiful their son was, how amusingly he yawned, how tiny his hands were, and how his nose resembled his dad's. But as soon as she hung up, the smile would fade from her pale, worn-out face. Anna often cried out of exhaustion and helplessness. The baby suffered from stomach pains, cried a lot, and kept her awake at night. The woman dreamed of at least having a peaceful meal. That's when Anna would call her grandmother, who had longed for grandchildren. "Ma, hi," Anna said, rocking her son. "I'd like to take a walk with the little one, but Dad's not here. He's on a business trip." "Mom, will you take a walk with the baby?" "Well, maybe on Sunday." Olsia did not expect such an answer. She didn't come over the weekend. Undeterred, Anna asked for help again, but her mother was not pleased with this turn of events. "You take care of him, and make sure he doesn't grow up spoiled," advised the woman. Each time, she came up with new stories, explaining why she didn't want to take care of her grandson. "I have high blood pressure today, probably due to magnetic storms," the grandmother declared. "And my back hurts a lot." In general, she had plenty of reasons. Dinner wasn't cooked or a TV series wasn't watched, and she had forgotten how to take care of an infant. When Anna couldn't take it anymore and reminded her mother of her promises, "I should have had a child right after the wedding. Now it's hard for me to take care of a baby. When he grows up, maybe I'll leave him with you." Anna didn't give up, and in moments of desperation, she tried to reach her mother again and again. Sometimes she called her in tears. "Mom, I can't take it anymore. The baby is crying all the time, sleeping poorly. I fainted twice. And I have such a migraine that I want to smash my head against the wall. You know, I feel like I haven't slept for several days," Anna complained. "What did you expect, my dear?" her mother declared then. "Children are difficult. Now you understand the labor it took me to raise you." And so the main support and comfort for Anna again became her father. When Igor returned and visited his daughter, he was horrified. He even once again quarreled with his wife, calling her selfish. She then got offended by her loved ones, who did not appreciate her. Moreover, she called Anna and blamed her daughter for everything. "You complained to your father, now he's sleeping at the neighbors again," she hissed like a snake. "You are to blame for everything." Igor, on the other hand, hurried to reassure his daughter. "Don't listen to your mother, just think about your son," he would say. The man often visited his daughter and grandson. Igor helped as much as he could, whether it was cooking or playing with the baby while his daughter took a shower. Only he helped. Everything changed dramatically one Saturday when Anna's mother-in-law came to her doorstep. Unaware of what was happening with her daughter-in-law, she rarely visited the young couple, only inviting them over. The woman did not want to interfere with the young family, and when Dmitri answered his mother's questions about his wife and child, he would say only what he knew. Everything was fine. "Mom, she's managing," he reassured his mother. "I'll be back in a month. If everything goes well, we'll meet and celebrate our son's birthday," Dmitri assured. The mother believed her son's words. What reason did she have to doubt? After all, she herself called her future daughter-in-law a couple of times, asking about her grandson. Anna always carefreely reported that everything was fine, but then Maria decided to visit her grandson. She could only provide support on the day of discharge. The grandmother's heart couldn't endure the prolonged separation. She bought toys and gifts, spent a long time choosing a cake to have tea with her future daughter-in-law. She perfectly understood that Anna was struggling, but didn't know what to do with the discomfort of the young woman. When Maria pressed the doorbell, it wasn't immediately answered. She had to call again. The woman intended to leave, but heard Anna's voice. I'm coming. When Anna appeared at the doorstep, the woman couldn't hold back a surprised exhale. Her eyebrows shot up, and the bags of purchases almost slipped from her weakened fingers. Instead of the charming girl with a healthy blush, a shadow of Anna stood before her, thin and pale, with dark circles under her eyes. She was in a dirty T-shirt with traces of milk and sweat, her hair dirty and hastily tied in a messy bun. When Anna saw the guest, she shyly pulled on her husband's T-shirt, not wanting to appear before her mother-in-law in such a state. "Mrs. Maria," Anna said in a weak voice. "I thought Dad came. He said you would drop by. Will you let me in?" Maria nodded, looking around. The laundry was done, the dishes were clean, and there was fresh food on the stove. Maria continued, "Now you'll take a bath, put on clean pajamas." Anna was amazed at how well her mother-in-law coped, taking care of the child and tidying up the apartment at the same time. When Anna had tea and enjoyed the taste of the cake, her mother-in-law said, "Now you rest." Anna obediently went to the bathroom. Despite her mother-in-law's words, she was sure she wouldn't be able to sleep. But as soon as her head touched the pillow, she fell into a deep sleep. Anna woke up when dusk fell outside the window. She jumped up, trying to find her son beside her. Her heart pounded harder, but she realized the child wasn't there. Later, it turned out that her mother-in-law not only took her grandson for a walk, prepared food, but also helped tidy up the apartment. Unable to hold back, Anna burst into tears, and Maria comforted her. Anna looked up at her mother-in-law, who smiled at her gently and kindly. "Everything will be okay, Anna," Maria said. "You're smart, my dear. You just need help and some rest." Anna burst into tears. "Well, you managed on your own," she whispered. "I didn't have a choice, Anna, and I wouldn't wish the fate I had on anyone. But it's different for you. You have me, and Mitri will be back soon. Everything will work out," Maria promised. "And understand that it's not shameful to ask for help and be vulnerable. You're not made of steel." Since then, Grandma Maria started coming more often, and the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law finally got to know each other better. Maria turned out to be a genuinely bright and kind woman. Soon, Mitri's ship returned to port. By that time, Anna had regained her rosy cheeks and the sparkle in her eyes. The family's life improved, and the first months of motherhood seemed to Anna like a bad dream from which her father and mother-in-law had pulled her out. Maria shared her stories of the challenges of motherhood with Anna, but emphasized the importance of support and friendship. She shared her experiences, offered advice, and together they discussed how to cope with difficulties and maintain their individuality in the role of a mother. Over time, Mitri noticed positive changes in the relationship between his wife and mother. Family moments became more peaceful and harmonious. Maria was not only a grandmother to her grandson, but also a support for her daughter-in-law. That's all for now. See you in the next story. Click on the suggested video. Thanks for watching.